Hello everyone. I'm gonna go on in a minute or two, just making sure this is working. If you can hear me and see me okay, I have the lights turned down a little in here because these lights behind me right there were giving me a headache. If you can hear me and see me okay, please let me know, because I have my air conditioner going on right now and that might be loud, and I tend to mumble sometimes. Thumbs up. Okay, I see a few people joining. Alright, great. Thanks, Billy. Alright, awesome. Thank you, Trey. Thank you, Carla. Alright, awesome. Okay, so I just wanted to try something new. I've been live a few times before. I went live to talk about my calendars that I sold back at Christmas, and that seemed to go well. I'll go live every now and then when I actually have a signal and I find something cool when I'm out, you know, just out in nature. I could be biking and come across a snapping turtle or whatever. But I've been rambling on and on these past few weeks about something called the 100-Day Challenge. So I just wanted to come on because I've had a lot of people ask me questions privately and talk about that a little bit. And then, you know, just hang out and see if anybody wants to just bullshit, talk snakes, talk whatever, you know. If you see me on Facebook and you see some of the stuff I post, just see if anybody has any questions. Alright, so looks like we're at about 9:01, and I said I go on at 9, so okay. Hanging out my bedroom here. This is my workstation. I got my computer right there. The 100-Day Challenge. What this is a 100-day race to getting goals achieved. And I'll run through this real quick. Basically, you sign up and you go through an orientation, and it walks you through setting 3 big goals for yourself. Back in 2016, my 3 goals were to run a marathon, to create $1,000 in online income, and I had some personal ones that had to do with my family relationships and my mission in life, which is conservation. So I stepped up my game there. I achieved all 3 of them. So you sign up. Those are my 3 goals. You sign up, it walks you through an orientation, you set up your goals. Then every morning you get an email, and it's like a 6 to 11 minute video that's really motivating, really gets you to start the day fast and keeps you focused and keeps your eye on your goals. After that, after you watch the video, it takes you to your 3 goals, and then it has like a task list where you fill out things you want to get done that day, so that you're not making yourself busy, but you're making yourself productive, and you're doing things that are toward your goals. So I've been pushing that a lot. I've been trying to get people to sign up, and I do have a lot of people that have signed up with me because honestly, I want the camaraderie, I want the companionship, I want the accountability, because, you know, I post a picture of a snake on Facebook, I get 100 likes, sometimes 200 likes. I post a picture about, you know, a goal, and I get like 4 people to talk about it. So, you know, the more people, the better for me, and I think we can do things together to make ourselves better people. So, I think I'm in day 12 now, but the deadline to sign up it was tonight. I think they pushed it into halfway through tomorrow. And I got a discount code. I emailed them and got a discount code. I wish I had it. I wish I would have applied it to myself. It's Speed 142. So if you are interested, I'll get through this real quick and then we can just talk. If you are interested in the 100-Day Challenge and you are interested in goal achievement and really fast tracking what you want to do with your life, go to www.thewealthtrinity.com/100-day challenge and check it out. You know, it's free. You don't have to You don't have to buy anything there. I mean, you can sign up for the program if you want. And then when you do that, if you do decide to sign up, I did get a discount code. It's SPEED142, all lowercase, SPEED142, and that should give you like a $35 off thing. So that's really all I wanted to talk about was what I'm doing with the 100 days. Like I said, the deadline to sign up is tomorrow. After that, you're going to see me posting. I'm really looking to change up my Facebook a little bit. Everybody knows me as posting wildlife photos. I've been herping, which is reptiles and amphibians, for pretty hardcore for about 15 years, and I've loved them all my life. And I got into birding maybe 5 years ago, and you know, I have a hard time doing anything half-ass, so I really attacked birds, and of course stuck with my herping and snakes and everything. And what I feel that I did was I backed myself into a corner, and it sounds corny to say, but like I feel like I've created like this online identity of who I am, and it almost made me nervous to ever post about anything else. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, wildlife, that is me, and that is all I love to do, but I am other things. So lately I've been trying to step out of that and post. I'm big into self-help. Big into self-help and self-development. So I started stepping into that realm and trying to better myself and trying basically, all right, for example, I've been selling these calendars for 5 straight years now. The first year I did it, I was able to give like $200 to the Pinelands Preservation Alliance. Fast forward to 2015, I was able to give $1,000 to a bog turtle habitat restoration. Last year I was able to give $1,500 away. So I've grown the calendar thing, and that's great, right? But the way I'm looking at this self-development thing is I can do so much more, and I can be so much more. Like, I have no problem going after money. I'm going to admit, I want to be rich. I don't want to be rich to say I have a lot of money in my bank account. I want to be rich to have freedom, to do the things I want to do, and to make the world a better place in accordance with my values. So that $1,500 that I gave last year, you know, I mean, shit, if I you know, the sky's the limit, right? If I all of a sudden am a millionaire, I can give $200,000 a year. That's really what I'm after here. I'm trying to make myself better, so that I can be more of who I am, and that's what I want for anybody who's willing to take the jump with me when I post all this stuff on Facebook or on Instagram. So my Facebook, yes, you will definitely see wildlife. That's not going to stop, but you're going to see a lot more self-development from me. I'm big into fitness and health. I actually was posting about fasting this week as an experiment, and a lot of people think that that's good for a body cleanse, and honestly, I don't know. I just started researching it, and I just started experimenting with it. So what I did was I posted a question, asked people about it, and then I actually did a 40-hour water fast where all I drank was water. I didn't consume any calories. Hi Jack, how are you doing? Nice to see you here after our little spat yesterday. I'm glad we could come to terms. But yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, it's just like, you know, I wanna post about more things. I'm gonna post all the wildlife I find. That's never gonna stop. I'm never gonna stop sharing that way. You know, I'm a true believer in conservation through education, and I have all of my you know, my herper friends, my birder friends, but I'm trying to cross the lines basically and cross promote. Like, For example, when I got into birding, I had a lot of birder friends who appreciated wildlife, but they didn't understand snakes. They, probably had that fear that was taught to them, and I feel like I'm making a little bit of progress there with people. So that's really the identity I want online. Is I want to always be willing to share, and always be willing to answer questions, and always be willing to break myths, especially about snakes, because let's face it, that's what everybody's scared of. So that's what I'm here to do online. That said, I am going to branch out with a lot of this self-development, and I ask you guys to come with me, whoever wants to. If you're friends with me because you like snake pictures, that's great. If you're friends with me because you feel obligated, then you can unfollow me if you don't want to see what I'm posting, and I'll never know. If you want to stay friends with me and go on these goal achievement journeys with me, let's do it, and let's talk about it. And if you have personal goals that you don't want to discuss publicly, hit me up on Messenger. I'm not trying to be a coach or your therapist or anything. I'm just looking to share with like-minded individuals, and really lean on one another so we can get more things done. I think accountability is huge. Hi, baby. Thanks for watching. Julie's here, everybody. So that's really it. Hey, hi, Sandy. Sandy Young just joined. Sandy, this is her second time around doing the 100-day challenge with me, and I'm sure she can attest to the brilliance of the program. It's so motivating. So yeah, that's really all I'm here to talk about. If anybody's got any questions, about anything, I'll hang out for a little while, and if people are talking, I'll keep talking. Anything at all. Oh, thanks, Zach. Trey, I will post the link to the 100-day challenge. I've posted about it a bunch these last few weeks, but I'll mention it right now. It's www.thewealthtrinity.com/100-day challenge. You could go right to their site, but if you go through the Wealth Trinity site, I have a discount code. If you do sign up, you can put in the discount. I just got the discount today. It's SPEED142, all lowercase, and that should get you $35 off. I will put up the link after this is done. Yes, Sandy says it made a huge difference in her life. It made a huge difference in my life. I mean, shit. Let me just talk about me for a minute. I grew up with something called Perthes disease, and without boring you to tears, basically the ball and socket part of my femur, my left leg, where it hooks into your hip socket, the blood was cut off from that, and my bone crumbled, and I had a leg that was shorter by like 2.5 inches, and I had multiple surgeries growing up. And I wasn't, like, I didn't think of myself as handicapped or disabled, but it certainly wasn't ideal for a physical lifestyle, I guess. And I could have gotten a hip replacement when I was like 32, and I put it off, and I put it off, and I put it off, because I was so scared. Honestly, all right, I was scared of the downtime during the recovery, because I am so addicted to being out in nature. That's all I thought about. So I put it off for 4 years when I could have gotten it earlier. And I just couldn't take it anymore, and I got it done. It was the best move I've ever made. So fast forward to maybe like a year afterwards, I was living pain-free. I lived in pain every day of my life. And then I decided, you know what? I now have this hip that doesn't bother me every day. It doesn't keep me up at night, and I'm going to go after something, right? So I start training for a marathon. I'd never run more than 2 miles at that point, right? And then I ran 5, I fell off, and then I said, I'm going to get back on this. And when I signed up for the 100-day challenge, I made the marathon my goal. And it was just a goal that I could focus on, and it was just something that was on my bucket list forever. And with the help of the 100-day challenge keeping me focused, I stayed on track, and I ran the Philly Marathon in November 2 years after my hip replacement. I didn't break any records, but I ran it. I ran 26.2 miles. I couldn't do it now. I haven't been running long distance, but I did it. And, you know, thanks to the 100-day challenge that gave me the perseverance, I got it done. Hey, Will. Thanks, man. Yeah, hopefully someday I'll meet Rick. So, yeah, I mean, it was great for me with that. What else did I do? What am I doing right now? I have this thing called the Wealth Trinity. You'll see my memes I'm posting in the morning. Basically, that's my own website. I'm trying to build a brand and inspire people. Kind of the same way I try to inspire people about wildlife education. And the Wealth Trinity is basically what I call my 3 prongs to being truly wealthy. Not rich, just being wealthy in your life. And I look at that as fitness/health. That's one prong. I look at it as finances, and I'll get to that in a minute. And the most important prong of the Wealth Trinity is your mission in life, whatever that may be. Whether your mission is feeding the hungry in Africa, or like mine, I just want to get the word out about wildlife conservation. Your mission could be just to give your kids the best life they've ever had, whatever it is, you know. So combine that. How can you go after that mission with the most, I guess, gumption? Like, you're going to need your health and your fitness. You're going to need that energy every day. You're going to need that vitality to live as long as you can, so that you can get as much done as possible in your life. Finances. You need to go after that financial freedom so that you don't have to work a 40-hour job, and you can make your own schedule, and you can have the most money to give you the most options and freedom to go after whatever your mission is. Jack, no, you do not have to sign off. You know, if fitness is not your thing, you know, I mean, you can listen if you want, or you can go. Good to have you here, though. So that's what the Wealth Trinity is about for me. It's about fitness, finances, and mission. And really, mission is at the top of that pyramid, and you use your health and your vitality and your finances. Hopefully you can get enough so that you have that freedom, and you use both of them to go after your mission. So in this 100-day challenge, I always try to do my 3 main goals with the Wealth Trinity in mind. So this time, you know, these are very personal goals, and they're suited to me. I want to be, by the end of this 100 days, I started July 1st, so like September 10th or somewhere around there, I want to be 165 pounds. Why? Because I know after my hip replacement, I got up to 201 pounds, which is way too fat for me. So after I trained for my marathon, I got down to 187, and that was just from purely burning calories, working out, and I wasn't paying attention to my diet. But this time I've cleaned up my diet. I want to get down to 165, and then more importantly for me, you know, I'm not trying to preach this to you, but for me, I want to switch over to a plant-based diet. I've been eating closely. I cut out cow products a year and a half ago, okay? I think that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, because it's not just about cutting out the hamburgers and the steaks. It's about cutting out dairy. It's about cutting out milk and cheese, and even harder, anything processed. Almost anything processed has milk or milk fat or whey isolate, or, you know, even down to the vitamins you take. They have gelatin in them, which is cow product. So I cut all that out a year and a half ago. Thanks, Mike. Have a good night. I cut all that out a year and a half ago, and I've only been eating poultry for a year and a half. I cut out seafood. I cut out cow products because of the environmental impact. That was how it got me. You know, I knew about I knew about the health reasons, and I know about you know, the way these animals are treated in big commercial, big business plants. And but for whatever reason, the environmental cause spoke to me, and it was finally the straw that broke the camel's back, and I was able to cut it out. So I've only been eating poultry, no seafood, no pork, no nothing, no, only poultry. Poultry, that's getting the axe. That's part of my #1 goal. Once I hit 165 pounds, right now I'm doing the research and I'm trying different recipes, different plant-based recipes. Once I hit that 165, boom, I'm switching over to a plant-based diet that I plan on keeping for the rest of my life. So that's goal #1. Goal #2 is kind of financial based. Well, it is financial based. I won't get into the specifics of it. I have a few personal goals with finances, but the one that I'm posting publicly is that I'm going to save $5,000. And really, I'm in that 100 days. It's, for me, it's not going to be about cutting expenses. It's more about generating extra income. Like I said, I've generated online income. I made it to $1,000 a month with my first 100-day challenge. I did that a number of different ways. There's a million different ways people can make money, and I love the online money because it's passive. It's something I can do from my home. It's not an hourly job where I have to take away from my kids or my family time or things I love to do. I can do it when I want. So I'm going to save $5,000 within 100 days. And then my third one is more mission-oriented stuff, which I won't get into with you here. You guys know what I'm about. I'm about wildlife conservation. And now, as you've seen in the last 2 weeks, I'm about inspiring people to be the best they can be. Not because I think I'm a guru or anything, because I'm on this journey and I want people to be on this journey with me. You know, if we are Facebook friends, we've shared something in common somewhere along the line, and maybe we can share something else in common. So I guess that's it. I've rambled on for about 21 minutes. Hi, Emily. Goat, I've never tried, but I'm not going to try because I'm going full plant-based. And I'm not judging anybody for what they eat. This is about me. You know, of course, I would love to answer questions on it and, you know, what I've learned so far. I'm not here to preach. Hey, Alejandra, glad to see you here. Thanks for always getting into my my threads on Facebook and participating. I really appreciate that. And I saw your bird pictures lately. Your warblers have been posting. They are awesome. Just awesome pictures you're doing. You're putting up some really great stuff. All right, it's 9:22. If anybody has any questions, I guess I'll stay on for a minute or two. I'll stay on as long as people are asking questions, but if not, you know, I'll let you guys go. And I really appreciate everybody coming on. Thanks, Jessica. So are you. And glad I finally ran into you down at Brig. Thanks, Alejandra. I don't know. I don't know if maybe I should do this every week. I mean, I love interaction with people. That's obvious. I've always loved social media and the aspect of sharing things with people online. So maybe I'll do this every week and I'll plan out something and see where it goes. And as long as people are chiming in, I guess I'll keep doing it. I don't want to talk to you know, nobody. Hold on one second. Hey, Lester, that's actually not a bad idea. A lot of the vegan YouTubers I'm watching talk about using that nutritional yeast as a cheese substitute. Like if you like grated cheese, just throw that nutritional yeast on top of stuff, and it's protein and it's plant-based. So that's actually something I have on my list to try before I switch over to full plant-based. It's something I want to experiment with. So I appreciate the suggestion. I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, being more than one online persona. That was something I had a big hang up about because I've been the herp guy for so long. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of herp guys out there and there's a lot of people that are way better than me doing it. But to, you know, to the people that I've interacted with, that's all they've ever known me as online. And you know, the people that I go out and feel with and have become like friends on a face-to-face basis with, they realize I'm more than that, you know. And I'm a big dork, and you know, I like my fitness, and I have 5 kids that I'm responsible for, 3 of my own and 2 of my girlfriend Julie's, and you know, I'm a father, and I'm a lot more than just the wildlife. But since when I first got into Facebook, all I really did was post wildlife and follow a million wildlife people, and I backed myself into a corner. And honestly, like, it's funny because every time I post something that doesn't have to do with wildlife, I have like this anxiety, like, oh, people are gonna judge what I'm putting up, or that's not the identity. People don't know me as that. And like, really, who cares? Like, you know, I see a million posts on Facebook that don't relate to me, and I don't sit around judging people. It's weird how we like do that. Like, I guess it's a I don't know if it's narcissistic or if it's just being self-absorbed, where you worry about what everybody thinks of you. But I've just decided to just stop caring. You know, if you don't want to see what I'm saying, you just scroll past it. And it's a challenge to stop worrying about what people think. And I'm not perfect, and I'm definitely going to keep having those bouts of anxiety over it, but I'm going to keep pressing on. And you know, excuse me, maybe I can connect with people out there on more than just wildlife, because there's more to life. There certainly is. You know, I have 5 kids that I love and a girlfriend that I love, and you know, I only post about them once a year on their birthday, and I'd love to post more of them, you know. So let's see. Okay, yeah, I'll pick up some of that nutritional yeast. I looked for it tonight in Giant, and I didn't see it, but I might have been looking in the wrong spot. I was like kind of looking in the health food section. Maybe they don't have it, or it's just not there. Yeah, Andrea, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and your Insta stories are awesome, by the way. I love them. There's like, I post 1 or 2 things a day, and I go to your Insta story, you got like 30 things for the day. Andrea Pico Estrada, if I'm pronouncing that right. If you guys are on Instagram, go check her out. Her Insta stories are phenomenal. She's just got all kinds of stuff down in Florida every day to watch, and it's like being there. It's great. Hi, baby. Yes, like-minded people. That's who I'm looking to connect with. Julie and me, we have the same goals. She's always posting a lot of self-help stuff. She's actually a lot better. She's helped a lot of people online, and actually she's been a little bit of an inspiration to me, because she's helped a lot of people get in shape when she was a Beachbody coach, and even now that she's not a Beachbody coach. I mean, she's just constantly online, just helping people, and Messenger, just, you know, being motivating, being accepting, and just trying to push people to be better. And really, that's what I want to do. You know, I want to do a lot more of that. So moving forward, yeah, you're still going to see the snake and the bird pictures and the mammal pictures whenever I can see a mammal. And you know, I have Costa Rica coming up in 3 weeks. Damn, yeah, 3 weeks. And I'm planning that out. I'm taking the entire family to Costa Rica, and it is going to be a blast. We're going for 8 nights, and I cannot wait. You guys think you're sick of my animal photos now? Wait till you see when I get back. I'm going to spread them out, and I will milk Costa Rica for a good 2 months before you're done seeing tropical stuff. Hold on. The biggest changes I've made in my personal challenge so far. Okay, in this one, I think really right now it's experimenting with plant-based foods. It's being consistent in my diet, because I don't know how long you've been tuned in here, but I've made it up to 201 pounds, and currently I'm sitting at about 171. So I'm down about 30 pounds from my high point, from my fattest point. And it's really the caloric deficit that I have to be in 6 days a week. That's a big challenge, because I think I might have said it earlier today on one of my posts, is that consistency is the key. And I consistently didn't pay attention, and I consistently but slowly got heavier and heavier. And I count calories, and a lot of people don't like to hear count calories. And really, I say to that, you know, why? Because not counting calories is how you became unhealthy, or how you became unhappy with your weight, if you're in that position. So, you know, to get back to an ideal weight, to get back to something that you're happy with and proud of, you know, you got to do the work. You have to do the work. So since I got back from Panama, I have been that was in late January. I've been counting calories every single day, and you know, it got easier, and it's now a part of life for me. And you know, when I get to that ideal weight, and I can go back up to maintenance calories, and I can eat an additional 600 to 800 calories a day without putting the weight back on, then I won't worry about it as much. But if you have weight you want to lose, you have to do the work. And that is my biggest challenge so far, I think, at least health-wise, because it is tiring. But you know what? I got fat for me, I guess, being lazy. So I got to put in the work now. Thanks, Gary. I appreciate it. I'm going to have to get back over there and look for some red-headed woodpeckers soon. I don't have one for the year, so I need to get some pictures. So maybe I'll run into you there. Let me see what else people are saying. I don't want to miss anybody. Thanks, Alejandra. I'll definitely check all this stuff out. I appreciate it. And I'll have to reread all this stuff when I'm done here. Thanks, Jack. Listen, you're never too set in your ways. And I know you're a lot older than me, so I don't want to seem like a young punk talking to you like I know what I'm talking about, because I don't. But I have made changes, and, you know, honestly, I think that's just a limiting belief, you know. If you want to make a change, just do it. You know, it's... For example, I'm addicted to wildlife, right? Everything I do, I think about wildlife. If I'm going to go visit the kids, I think my kids live 2 hours away. I think about where are we going to look for snakes today. If I have an hour before work, I think where am I going to go walk and see what birds are out. It's constant. It's everything. And because of that, I've neglected a lot of things. So to do all this self-development stuff, I've had to make the change and tell myself I'm not too set in my ways, and I can get through this, and I can push all that aside and go after other things that are important to me. So, you know, maybe just challenge yourself on that belief, because, you know, there's always time, man. You know, if you're not dead yet, you got time to do what you want. Thanks, Gary. Alejandra, we are going... Excuse me, hold on one second. My throat's getting dry because I'm just talking way too much. Okay. We are flying into San Jose, obviously. Then we are staying at Arenal Lodge. It's like a 3-hour drive. It's up by the lake in the volcano, or La Fortuna. I'm probably not pronouncing these Spanish names right. But we're staying on a property where it's, you know, well, it's Costa Rica, so it's going to have tons of great wildlife, but it's a really snaky area from what people say, so hopefully we'll get a lot of snakes there. And, you know, I'll do some traveling around and maybe get some specialties from, you know, maybe higher elevations or whatever. I might try to take a day trip to Guanacaste or Monteverde. I'm not sure. I'm still I'm cramming all my info right now. So that's 4 nights there. Then we drive about 5.5 hours down the Pacific side, past Manuel Antonio. That's like a touristy area, although we might spend half day there or something. because I really want a sloth, and if I don't find a sloth of my own, I'm going to try at Manuel Antonio. But we're staying at a place called Hacienda Baru, and I'm actually I'm Facebook friends with the owner of Hacienda Baru. His name's Jack Ewing, if you want to look him up. Basically, and don't quote me on this, but I think he moved from the U.S. down there in the 70s to be a cattle rancher and rice farmer, and he was on Hacienda Baru. It's like this coastal rainforest. It's actually like a half-mile walk to the beach, and I'm reading his book now, and as the story goes, as time went on, he stopped looking at it as a farm and a ranch and started looking at it as destroyed rainforest. Long story short, now he still owns Hacienda Baru, but it's a wildlife refuge, and he's letting everything come back to secondary forest, and it's a lodge, just a little opening in this rainforest, and there's tons of great trails to look for, or to walk around and look for wildlife, and I just cannot wait. I can't wait to night hike till 3 in the morning and sleep till 6 and bird till 10 and come back and fall asleep at the pool while my kids all swim, or take a nap while it's pouring outside. Hopefully we'll get rain, at least a little bit of rain every day. Hopefully it won't rain all the time. But it's going to be amazing. So we got 4 nights in Arenal and 4 nights down there. 2 different, totally different areas. And hopefully I'll get 2 totally different experiences out of it. And I got to be honest. I've been to Honduras with Julie, and I've been to Panama by myself, and both were amazing experiences for different reasons. Costa Rica, obviously, it's a bucket list place for a lot of people who are into wildlife, but what I'm most excited about is taking my kids down there. Like, honest, I just keep telling them, I'm like, guys, every animal you see, well, maybe not every animal, 98% of the animals you see are going to be animals that are going to be lifers for you. You're going to pick up frogs down there and you're going to be like, hey dad, what is this? And I'm going to be like, I have no idea. And I just cannot wait for my kids to be in that environment and just have everything new to them. And like, I don't know, people can relate. I've been herping a long time. The most excited I get is when I get to take somebody new out and they get a lifer. Like, they've never seen whatever it could be. They've never seen a milk snake before. They've never seen a timber rattlesnake before. It is exciting for me to see somebody's reaction to a new animal. So really, Costa Rica for me is going to be 8 straight days of that with my 5 kids. And some of them care more than others. But, even my oldest stepdaughter, Rebecca, she gets out in the wild with me every now and then, but she's not in it all the time like me and my boys. But I know she's going to be in a farm place, and you're going to hear howler monkeys, and you're going to have these big ass marine toads jumping around, hopping around in the grass at night, and like all that is just, it's so exotic and so different. That's really what I'm looking forward to the most in Costa Rica. So to answer your question, Will, those are my goals. I really do not, I don't care what I see. Of course, I'd love to see as many eyelash vipers as I could. I dream of seeing a bushmaster, which I'm going to tell you right now isn't going to happen. Yeah, it's a possibility, but it's not going to happen. I'd love to see, I'm going to butcher this name, Bothriechis nigroviridis. It's like a black speckled palm pit viper. I'd love to see that. Like, if I was going by myself, that would be my number 1 goal. That would be my number 1 snake goal. But really, going with the family, I have to remember it's a family vacation. I cannot run them ragged the whole time. And whatever we see, I will be happy with. Julie is good to me down there, and she knows my addiction, and I will definitely get out, and I'll get plenty of time to look for wildlife. So, I'll definitely come back with some pictures and some memories. It's going to be great. Oh, you know what? Let me back up too. I will tell you my number 1 herp goal is a black and green poison dart frog. And I'll tell you why. My last day in Panama, I had hoped for them the whole time, and when I went down, it was just dry as could be. My last day in Panama, I'm on my way to the airport, and I go down this dirt road. I mean, this dirt road was sketchy. I'm like, holy shit, I cannot believe I'm driving this car down this, and I'm going to get stuck somewhere and miss my flight back to the States, right? I get out of the car, it's like 95 degrees, it's in the lowlands, and I'm sweaty and gross, and I start walking these creeks, and I'm in these creeks up to my thighs, right? And I'm just like thinking, like, this poor, whoever is sitting next to me on the plane, man, I'm gonna reek, and it's gonna be a long flight for them. But I'm like, you know, I just can't stop. I'm looking for these poison dart frogs, right? I didn't get one all trip. Wouldn't you know, I saw one about an hour before I had to be at the airport, and I had my bird lens on me at the time because I was just done taking pictures of Jeffrey's tamarins, and I took a shitty blurry picture and the thing jumped and I lost it, and I have the worst picture of a black and green poison dart frog, and I really have a score to settle with that thing. So that's probably my #1 herp goal. Not because it's the #1 thing I want to see, but just so that can sit right with me, because the picture's horrible. Ask me if you want to see it. It's just, I'm not being humble here. It's just atrocious. So yeah, if I come back without that, it's a fail. The whole trip's a fail. Andrea, yeah, the fasting is great. I mean, I intermittent fast now. The jury's still out on the whole 24-hour fast, or I see some people doing 3 and 5 day fast. You know, I definitely don't want to use that as a way to keep my calories in check. I use intermittent fasting for that, and I eat every day that way, and I'm happy with that because I can keep my calories in check nice and easy when I'm only eating in an 8-hour window. As far as the longer fasts, you know, that's still a lot of research I want to do as far as the cleansing and the health benefits and stuff like that. And I don't know if I'll end up doing it. It's like right now I'm in the experimental phase, but I did have a really great experience the first time. It was awesome. I was so focused. I got so much work done that day, not worrying about what I was going to eat. Like right now, this is a normal day, and when I'm done talking, I know I'm going to eat something. Yeah, 8 hours no food. That's what I do. I usually stop around 10 the night before and eat like 1:30, 2 o'clock the next day. I'll check that out, Gary. Oh, Julie's used it, so I definitely trust it. Yep, sloth. Yeah, sloth is Julie's biggest goal, and honestly it is my biggest goal as well. Obviously I'm a snake person. That is my #1 thing. Reptiles and amphibians followed by birds, but down in Costa Rica, sloth is the #1 goal. I cannot come back without seeing a sloth. I tried, if you could call it try, I tried my ass off my first 2 trips to Latin America with nothing to show for it, so I'm getting one. We're getting one way or another when we're down there. You know, I don't care if I have to go take one out of a zoo and pose it and you know, out on a tree and call it wild. We're getting one. Yeah, the infinity pool, that looks awesome. There's an infinity pool at Arenal, and you get to look at the volcano. So I'm sure the family will be hanging out there. Yeah, Guanacaste is, I was just talking to a good herp friend of mine, this guy Matt, and he said that's his favorite part of Costa Rica. He gets the most herps there, or the most snakes, I guess I should say. That's, you know, Costa Rica is not a one-trip country. I plan on going back many times, and I had to remind myself over and over again that I can't spread myself too thin. I got 4 nights in 2 different areas, with maybe a day trip or a night trip to hike somewhere from each spot. But I really want to, you know, kind of, like I said, I just got to stick to where I booked and be happy with what I get. I'm leaving on August 2nd, so it's the rainy season and we should do well. And we'll be down there for 8 nights. Yeah, it is gonna be a fantastic trip, one way or another. As long as it doesn't rain the whole time. If it rains the whole time, sure, I'll get herpes. I'm just not so sure the rest of my family will be too happy. When we went to Honduras during the rainy season, it was perfect. Every morning you wake up to sun with some nice big white clouds, and you know, I birded in the morning. Then the afternoon, thunderstorms would roll through, or storms would roll through, and then it clear up for the nighttime, and I would go walk out and night hike till like 3 in the morning looking for snakes, and you know, obviously frogs and everything. And I got a lot of nocturnal birds. I got some owls, and I got a great patoo. I think that's how you pronounce it, P-O-T-O-O. Actually the weirdest bird I've ever seen. It was like hanging out with a ghost on this observation deck down at Pico Bonito in Honduras, which is an amazing spot if anybody's thinking about going down there. Yeah, and red-eyed tree frogs, they were going crazy down there, and they were, you know, the red-eyed tree frogs, it's such an iconic tropical frog, and like to go down there and to actually be in their presence, it's like I just waited too long. I didn't get out of the country to look for wildlife or nature until I was 38 years old. And if you're younger than me and you're into nature, don't wait as long as me. You know, get down there so you can start traveling around. Once you get a taste of it, you're going to want to keep going. That's my suggestion. I'm going to read some comments here. Thanks everybody for participating. I appreciate it. Jake, I'm going to Lake Arenal or Arenal Lodge and Hacienda Baru down in the Pacific, and you can expect a message from me soon. You're on my list of people I'm going to bug for some advice. So I apologize in advance. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. So, you know, get back to me at your convenience, and I would really appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, exactly. You guys, you know, I'm just kind of reading through these. I missed a bunch. Yeah, the patoo. I'll post up a picture. I'll send it to you on Messenger, Alejandro. It was awesome. It hung out with me for a good 5 minutes. I saw it one night and it flew right away, and I checked every night since then, and like 3 nights later it was there, and I went up this observation deck so slowly and just sat there and actually got a picture. I got video of it. After 5 minutes I was like, all right, well, I got what I needed, and then I left. It was great. Alaska is definitely on my list too. Not for the herps though, unless you like wood frogs. All right, guys, I appreciate the participation. This was a lot of fun, and I'm glad people were talking so that I wasn't just sitting here talking about myself the whole time. And I'm going to go back and read all these comments, and I'm sure I missed a few. So, you know, I'll do this next week. Maybe I'll just make an announcement on Facebook like I did today, and you know, if anybody's bored, they can chime in and see what I'm blabbering on about. Thanks, guys, for joining, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.